Good afternoon. Welcome to OptionsTender. It's Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025. I just made a video about a half an hour ago, and I am redoing it because we eked out a new high here. So I'm going to show you all of our indicators to see what happens when price makes a new high. You want to see confirmation, and we want to talk you through these indicators, and we'll go down to the 65 and show you exactly what I had to change for the individual markets, because unless we get acceleration here, I'm not sure that we're even going to get that full 5 wave, or this wave 3. So just stick around and play this at 1.25 or 1.5 speed so you can get all the information. And I'm going to zoom through this super quick. Everything's at a downtrend line right now. So on the other indices, that was going to be my point of the other the other video, but I'm not going to waste your time on that. Let's just look through the indicators. We have the moving averages. We're in a bullish posture here. You know, nothing to see, but we're at resistance. So let's see what happens with this resistance. We get above it and hold. Maybe this wave 3 can continue on, but it's got to accelerate and get higher from this point. So let's see what it does with resistance right now. We'll call an oscillator. We're not showing any strength and breadth. Really, we're just being held up by big tech stocks. I want to see what Apple does because of our hedges that we have with Apple, our SPY hedges. I might even take those off today. Okay, so we have Tesla holding things up, and Nvidia. Everything's at a downtrend. Tesla's back testing. All the individual members for $4.99 will see that. I talked about that today, and with Tesla as well. So, you know, Broadcom is pushing things up, and so you're seeing a sympathy play with Nvidia, but I don't think that's going to last very long. Okay, so here's the MACD. Now that today has happened, this is the big reason why I redid the video. All right, so let's look at the indicators. We finally, today, got our bearish divergence on the daily time frame. I should have known that would have come in. You know, the Qs did it, but it doesn't mean that SPY has to do it. All right, we have another official right here, negative divergence as of today. We're still just back testing. Nothing's changed there. We're going to look for the rollover for this momentum indicators to be in alignment. All right, so with the new high, our breadth is terrible. Our indicators, Demark, there's nothing to see here so far. I believe it's a 5 count. Yeah, 5 count. If we do continue to go higher, then let's see if we get a 9 count sell signal up at higher prices. Awesome oscillator, as of today, negative divergence. As of just a few minutes ago, I mean, we reached over it by about 10 cents, the past high from May 19th. Negative divergence. Let's go to SPY. Let's change up our board here. Let's go to divergences. Where is it at? Here's divergences. All right, I went through all those. We have the money flow index. Boom. Money's flowing out. Negative divergence. New high. Lower high. Bollinger Band. Nothing to see here. Now, finally, the LA oscillator is telling us that this is a wave 4 into, a wave 3 into 4, obviously. Wave 3 into wave 5. Okay? That's what the LA oscillator needed to tell us. We've been waiting and waiting, looking for some sort of closure. And this is a real big one for us as well. Nothing, you know, it wasn't showing any sort of sign of a top. Doesn't mean it had to. Like the bottom here did not, okay, after this move. No divergences. Did we have to? No. But now that it did, I feel a lot more comfortable, a lot more confident that we're getting this reversal really soon. It doesn't mean that a couple bars can go a little bit higher. Again, this just doesn't seem likely to make this all-time high. If it does, great. Win for the bulls. But now that we're getting these divergences, this is telling us that we're in our fifth wave. Okay? And that this can be done pretty soon. Now, let's go to the 65. Oh my gosh, I'm typing SPY again. So here's this last wave scenario that I was talking about. Okay, so we were looking at this being a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 wave move, but this 5 wave move being that this wave continues higher. With these negative divergences, I'm looking at for the bullish scenario to continue to take place. I don't think this is going to make it much higher. Now, this does to me look as if it could be a 5, 3, 5. Okay, I know that you're seeing a possible triangle in there. So whatever the case is, this could be a 3-wave move. And you see how we have wave 1, 2. We're in wave 3 here up top. And we had this wave 4 here being complete. And we're looking for a 1, 2 into that 50% retracement. And for this to continue as a wave 3, 4, and 5, I don't think that's any longer the case. Not with everything building up the way it is. It looks very weak. We eked out a new high. And for the bullish scenario to take place, I think this is an A, B here, and then we'll get a 5-wave move down for C. All right, and so this will still be our bull bear scenario where the 382 is going to matter down here, where 565 to 560 is going to matter. And then we'll see if we can make new highs from that point. All right. Okay, so going over to the primary scenario that I was at, if we count this as an AB 1, 2, 3 rather than the little 4 be in here, that could have been part of this wave. Okay, again, Elliott wave speculative. We got our wave 4 here, and then we're looking for this possibly being a 1, 2, 3, and this actually, and ignore this wick here, that kind of changes, viewpoint, but this here could have been a wave 4 triangle, just like it could be a B wave in that ABC for wave B. This would be your triangle in here. For wave 4, if you had the 1, 2 down here, 3 was the top of 3 here, wave 4, and then wave 5 complete. All right, now we're getting so close to that 887 at the 598 here that price can drag up there, almost just be pulled up there, and then that be the end of wave 2. All right, so we'll be looking for initial wave 1 into 2, and what that does at this point. And by the way, this is the Elliott oscillator. What that does at this point is really opens up. If we jump over to the Qs real quick, the Qs made a new high as well. Okay, so what this says to me is that they're lined up now. All right, so I know this looks wacky. This still looks like it needs to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe we get a little consolidation here. And for a wave 5, that's possible. We're just now making a new high in SPX. So SPY already made its new high. That's why I'm making the video now. SPX has completed that as well. What's ES doing? So ES is testing its 786. It could be making a lower high at this point. All right, that would be setting this up as a 1, 2 setup. We'll see what ES does, if it makes a new high or not overnight. But in the past, ES has made a new high without SPX making a new high as well. So don't think that can't happen. Let's see here. Let's go back to SPY and look at some of those indicators. Boom. All right, looking at the traditional look, we're back at resistance here, just eking above the highs from before. So this would be considered a double top. Even if we make it up to the options expected move up here, it'd just be a little lopsided. But really, it's just a double top at this point. And again, you have your indicators here. Moving averages are pushing up. We're into resistance. Now, what could happen here is now that we had our correction and we're making new highs in RSI, what we could expect is maybe a little consolidation and just a little bit higher to that 887 that I was talking about. And we do have negative divergence here as well. And so then we could look for maybe, just a slight pullback in the RSI and then a lower high for a negative divergence. It doesn't have to, but that is, I think, more common. If I had to guess, it was more common for it to happen. All right, so even if this wasn't an actual triangle where you have the top here and you go A, B, C, and then D and E inside of where you really can't see these candles, if that's not an actual triangle, then we're looking for this wave 5 extension, meaning that you had the 1, 2 is really small, 3, 4, and 5 is appears, I'm not going to measure it, appears to be the largest. So then this could be a 1, 2, and we're in wave 3, and we get a little consolidation somewhere because that was a deep one, probably a sideways, and then 4 and 5 up just a little bit higher, and that would complete this wave count as well. So lots of different ways you can look at it. Let the market tell you exactly what's happening. What other indicators? Demark. Aha, 9 count sell signal right now. So we could go a little bit higher, but this is really good at marking tops. And we had one here, went just a tad bit higher, corrected, and a little bit higher. This one pretty much on the dot, and then a correction. All right. So you can see how it works often. This one was right on it, and we got the correction. And this was a good reversal here. So even a reversal to the upside, 9 count sell reversal. All right. So that's looking good. Awesome oscillator. Negative divergence just made a new high. Boom. Money flow index. This is distribution. I don't really need that one. It's not doing us any justice. And distribution, we're not quite up there. But from that high to that high, negative divergence, it could go a little higher. Things are kind of adding up here, you guys. We have the sell signal here, overbought, into the Bollinger Bands. Elliott oscillator. Boom. All right, and just to check out the VIX, we're at the support area. I know it's spiking a little bit through. It did a couple times there. Let's see what happens now that we made those new lows. So let's go to the daily. Take off the... All right, so we're peaking below there. I think there's a gap under there. This could close a gap and then get back above there, but we're at support. We're making a higher low. The gap could low, so I think the gap was down here. Yeah, and then it gapped up. Let's see if we hold this gap or not. But the important thing to look on this one is we're in the cycle. You see these little red brackets here? We're in the cycle lows here. We're in that range. It can happen. Thursday's the ideal low. It can happen now. It can happen right after Thursday. We're in the zone, so this can reverse at any time now. And let's go to the 65. Let's see if we're closing that gap or not. We could hold the gap as gap support, but I'm looking for this as another falling wedge. Now, SPX or SPY, they made new highs here, all right, from the 19th. This actually made a low on the 16th, but so this is diverging from the market. We're making a higher low so far, and the market's making a higher high. All right, so if this does hold, you do have some room for the wedge if it does want to go lower. Then the market's probably grinding a little bit higher. Like I said, you have this market structure in here. If it gets a little correction and then continues lower into maybe Thursday, then we get like a bearish Friday or something break out. So we'll keep looking at this, but it could be done right here, right now. All right, at the gap. And that's it, you guys. Want to get this out to you, shorter video, but necessary. I already made a long one and I couldn't bring it out to you. I had to redo it because of all these divergences that just formed as of about 30 minutes to an hour ago.